Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 216 of the Terminal City FC podcast, part of the Area 51 Sports Network. Apologies for that beeping noise. There's a truck outside or something.
I couldn't figure out if it was you or me.
Now it stopped.
Yeah.
Thankfully. And what was I saying? Oh, yeah. We're back with another episode of Talking All Things Footy. Josh Ray joined alongside Nathan Dirk as per usual. So the Vancouver Whitecaps have made a couple of moves over the past week. And no, it did not involve Tristan Blackman. He is a Vancouver Whitecap. He is training with the rest of the team in Spain. But first, let's start with the player signing. Free agent midfielder, American Oliver Larraz, 23 years old, 87 appearances for the Colorado Rapids last season, pretty much played every game. Consistent starter for them. Very similar profile to Andres Kubis, ball-winning midfielder. Passing could be a bit better, but the most important aspect is that he is a ball-winning midfielder and can step in when Kubis is injured on international duty or needs rest.
I had a bit of a chat with Matt Pollard, who writes for the Burgundy Wave, covering the Colorado Rapids, and he said this was a sneakily good pickup for the Whitecaps. He's a local Colorado player.
Yeah, he's from that area.
One there. So there was a lot of surprise from the fan base when he was let go. They said the one strike on him a little bit is he could kind of bulk up a little bit physically, especially being a more defensive-minded midfielder. But he is someone that is considered to be a very good depth acquisition, especially if you're looking behind Kubis, behind Berhalter, with Ralph Priso now being more of a center back. So that could be the fourth guy that you have in that position alongside, say, like a Javine Badwall.
Yeah, and just like what he brings, a ball-winning midfielder, again, could bulk up as well. But, yeah, it's a good depth signing for the Vancouver Whitecaps. And, it's a good signing when all the Colorado Rapids fans on social media were saying they were sad to see him go. And they were not happy with the Rapids not bringing him back. So much needed midfield depth for the Whitecaps. A player that could grow even more. And I feel like he could possibly grow into a Sebastian Berhalter type player, possibly a very good MLS player. I believe he's only 23, but
he's young.
Nice. Yeah, and it's nice to have that Kubas depth and that they don't have to overplay him or overwork him too much, and they have someone similar.
Yeah. A good pickup, a good start. Axel Schuster, when he was talking about the player to media, also mentioned that there could be, in the next coming weeks, about 3 or 4 other players to join the squad. The one thing they don't want to do is they don't want to blow it up because of what happened last year and how well last year went. They want to keep that main part of the squad together. They don't want to try and kind of rewrite that. They just want to complement it as best they can.
Yeah, why blow it up? Everything worked so well last year, except, the end. But you have a good squad, you have a good core, you add to it, not subtract, unless you can find upgrades in certain positions. Now, the Whitecaps have been linked. There have been rumors on social media about certain players coming in. We're talking about another young winger, possibly, from Peru, and definitely think Kenji Cabrera is playing a part in this, and possibly another defender, even though the Whitecaps have multiple defenders already. And this one, I think, comes out from Daily Mail. Will Ferry, a Dundee United left back, I believe, Scottish, and they tried to sign him last summer, but couldn't agree to a fee. And sure, if they want to bring in a left back, I would think, this could be the end possibly for Sam Adekugbe.
I think the real worry is Adekugbe and injuries. They don't want to be in a position like they were last year. Let's be honest, the Whitecaps got lucky last year with Tate Johnson and how well he was able to do as a 19-year-old first-time professional player. Nobody expected Johnson to get the number of minutes he had. He probably had triple the number of minutes that the Whitecaps wished he would have had, but he handled it very, very well for such a young player. They don't want to be in that position again, right? Especially with, kind of that back line in general. Again, also with all the injuries they had to center backs and things like that.
I think, like, given the fact that they're linked to defenders, shows that the PTSD from losing pretty much their entire back line it's got to the Whitecaps and their brass.
Well, that's the whole reason why we discovered Ralph Priso as a center back, because at the time when he was playing, there was no healthy, natural center back on the squad.
Yeah, and we'll obviously talk more about Priso and what he did with Canada in the friendly over the weekend later. But just looking now, the Whitecaps have $5.523 million in GAM. So that it's a war chest for 3 signings for sure. I'm going to actually bring it up here.
One of the that has also been added to by a trade that was done yesterday between the Whitecaps and the New England Revolution. The Whitecaps acquired $125,000 in GAM, as well as the MLS Super Draft pick, the second round natural pick for the 2027 draft from the Revolution, in exchange for the discovery rights to midfielder Griffin Yao, who currently plays in Belgium, I believe.
Yeah, so more GAM and another draft pick for the Vancouver.
And honestly, if you're trading a discovery spot, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's a stupid system anyway, so if you can make something out of it, why not?
Yeah, why not? And it goes to show more moves are coming in the coming weeks. It's just a matter of who. It's not when, it's a matter of who is coming in and what kind of players that the Whitecaps are gonna bring in. And so I trust Axel Schuster and his staff to make some savvy signings before the season starts, and it seems like they're cooking up something behind the scenes.
Yep.
We don't know what that is yet, though. But over the next few weeks, we'll talk about that.
He's done really well with his history of signings. I got to say, I think even a player like Emmanuel Sabi was got to be close to one of the signings of the season for last year.
Yeah, and Sabi pretty much owns that right wing spot right now.
Yeah.
So the club's in Marbella, enjoying the sun, training, getting ready for the season. It goes to show that, Whitecap season's coming up. Less than a month now. CONCACAF Champions Cup action. And then the MLS season begins. So it's coming up pretty fast.
Yeah.
So the Canadian men's national team played against Guatemala in the friendly at BMO Stadium in LA. And then Ralph Priso started the game, and he did pretty well. He did not look rusty at all. And he just looked so calm and composed as, a defender.
Did Alumi start that game as a second striker?
No, he came off the bench.
Okay.
And he looked fine.
Yeah.
I didn't watch much of this game because I was also watching the Seattle Seahawks, but
I had the Oilers game.
yeah, we had our teams. And overall, that game was aggressive, at times very unnecessarily aggressive, like Richie Larea was being Richie Larea. And you didn't really need that, though, because it's a friendly. And Russell Rowe
is that memories are long, and a lot of Canadian players are also remembering last time they played Guatemala.
Yeah, that might be it, but still.
Well, but yeah, I agree with you. A lot of it was unnecessary.
Yeah, Jason Russell Rowe got the only goal of the game in the second half with the assist from Toronto FC's Malik Henry, who also was making his first cap. And former Whitecap Jaden Nelson, I say, looked good down the wing, just needed to create chances.
Yeah.
Great scoring chances, rather. They stuck to their principles, the pressing, the possession, the quick transitions, and lots to like from the youngsters and the veterans all around. But Priso really stood out to me, not just because, he's a Whitecap, but it shows that he can really challenge for that center back spot for the World Cup.
I think he's really reinvented himself. It might not have been the way that even he expected, but he has taken that position as a center back and just run with it. I think his stock has increased. You and I talked the other day on whether or not he'd be on the fringes of a potential World Cup team for the Whitecaps. I was kind of hedging my bets. I thought that there's still maybe a few players ahead of him, but I think it's worthy of a conversation right now.
I think he's a dark horse candidate.
Yeah.
To make the Canadian men's national team for the World Cup. He's going to be competing with Joel Waterman and Kamal Miller, veteran guys.
That's the thing is I still see Kamal Miller as filling that extra spot. But we'll have to wait and see.
It depends on how much he plays for the Whitecaps and how well he does. If he continues this strong run of form and plays consistently for the Whitecaps, I just see no reason why he won't be on Canada's men's national team for the World Cup.
And even that is still going to be an unknown because we have two center backs that, were acquired in August that we really still haven't seen a whole lot of in Poupé and Sean Lau.
Didn't see Sean Lau at all because he spent the whole time injured.
Unless you were watching the reserve team where he played, I think, 45 minutes.
And then that's where he got injured.
Yeah. I think there's still going to be questions about, because those are going to feel like brand new players this season as well. So we can almost, add them in as signings 2 and 3 behind Larraz.
Yeah, and Jodrick Poupé only played like 20 minutes, 10 minutes off the bench. One was against Dallas in the playoffs, and then the other was in MLS Cup.
Yeah.
So, just overall a decent result for the Canadian men's national team against Guatemala, but more games have been announced.
Yeah.
For friendlies. Canada will play Iceland on March 28th. March 31st, they'll play Tunisia. And then on June 1st, they'll play Uzbekistan, and one more will be announced either June 5th or 6th.
I'm not too sure where all these games, but I know the one against Uzbekistan will be in Edmonton. Tickets are already on sale for that match. I think they went on sale today.
Yeah, back to the Ice Tech, though there won't be any ice or snow this time around.
Well,
it's June, but you never know.
It's happened before.
Yeah, and these are, you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. Decent opponents.
Yeah.
Tunisia, especially, they're decent side. One of the top sides in Africa.
Great side. I'm actually really interested in Uzbekistan because Uzbekistan is a first-time debutant at this upcoming World Cup. So they're going to be a very, very interesting team to play because, they made the show.
Yeah, they made the yeah, and Iceland, too, have been... I'm going to see where Iceland are.
Are they in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're in the... They could qualify, and I'm seeing where they are in the FIFA rankings.
FIFA rankings also just came out. I know Canada dropped a couple of spots, but a lot of that is because they just...
A lot has to do with the teams bumping them. Tunisia is 47th.
Okay.
Uzbekistan's 52nd. And I think we have to scroll back down for Iceland.
That far down?
74th.
Ooh, they've fallen.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the same team that went far in Euro 2016, but still.
That is true.
Yeah, Spain tops the FIFA rankings right now, and biggest climber is Cameroon, who jumped 12 spots, and Senegal jumped into 12th.
That's why I was with Senegal with AFCON. Actually, we should talk about AFCON.
We'll talk about AFCON later. Yeah, but for Canada, I mean, teams that are below but around their level, especially a team like Tunisia, Uzbekistan will be interesting, since they also qualified for the World Cup. I wonder who that final opponent will be.
Going to be waiting to see. I know one thing is that Canada is really, really looking to have these matches in Canada.
It has to be Canada.
World Cup here anyway. These are warm-up matches. They want to play here and just get the players together in preparation for that tournament. It does sound like they're looking for kind of a heavy hitter European opponent. There have been a couple.
I would think it would be,
but nothing stated yet.
I think it would be a heavier opponent for that final one. It's a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, who likes surprises? So, that's Canada, and we'll move back to Vancouver for the Northern Super League. And the Vancouver Rise have made some signings. 2, actually. They signed as
signings,
Canadians. Canadian attacker Audrey Francois has signed. She has spent 4 years at Harvard University, meaning she's very smart. 31 starts and 65 appearances, and 8 goals and 8 assists. Not bad.
Yeah, so this is going to be her first professional level contract, gets to return to Canada. She's originally a native of Laval, Quebec, but has decided to come over to the West Coast and ply her trade over here. Good signing. It does seem to be a bit of a depth signing, especially when you think of the players that the Rise have lost in the offseason. Their attack has stayed fairly solid.
Yeah.
The other thing is it'll be interesting to see if maybe she can be repurposed a little bit, if they're looking possibly as maybe a wide player on the midfield or something like that. But yeah, definitely a good player to add to the mix. Other than that, they've also added Canadian international player Sura Yeka. Sura Yeka has been recently playing in Sweden in the top flight there. I'm going to butcher this. The Demals.
Vitz Joe GIK and Jagardens IF.
Yeah, no,
I heard of that.
IF is a big club. That's a big Swedish club. I think she spent the last 3 years, I believe, playing there.
Yeah,
Definitely a very good player to have. Attack-minded defender, has been capped 18 times for the Canadian women's national team. Very, very smart player. Originally born in Toronto, chose to apply her trade with Canada, country of her birth. She had dual citizenship between Canada and Uganda, but plays for Canada, and very, very good defender to have. Very, very necessary signing for Canada.
Yeah, they needed a center back.
Adds to the international kind of portfolio of Canada in having players that do play for their national team.
Yeah, cool that they bring in 2 Canadians and one who has been capped for the women's team before. So this is someone, we got a youngster and kind of a veteran for the Vancouver Rise, and they still have 3 months to make more signings.
Yeka still has a number of years in her career, I believe.
Yeah, she's in her prime.
Honestly, she's 29.
Yeah, around. Let me check, actually.
So, yeah, definitely many more years still to go, especially
as 29. She just turned 29 a few weeks ago.
So, yeah, nice to finally see some moves out of there after had been last week was a bit of a tough week. Or the previous week, I should say, was a bit of a tough
week. Weeks, rather.
Rise, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's move over to Europe. So Chelsea lost 3-2 to Arsenal in the EFL Cup semifinals, won last week. Not a bad performance all around, but standards have dropped so low that losing to Arsenal in the Cup has been okay, we played well. So Arsenal did what they do best, score on set pieces. 7 minutes in, Joao Pedro loses Ben White, and Ben White gets the header past Robert Sanchez. And then Sanchez, he kind of reverted back to default settings a little bit on the second goal. He spills the cross, or he mistimes his movement, and then Victor Gyökeres scores a tap in and does the Bane celebration in front of the Stamford Bridge faithful. Of course, they had to let Gyökeres score. Speaking of guys who are poor but scored in this game, Alejandro Garnacho scored 2 well-taken goals in this game. I don't know, this guy can shoot. I'm sure his dribbling can leave something to be desired, saying it lightly, but at least he knows how to shoot when he finds the right space. And then some poor defending leads to Martin Zubamendi's goal. At least Chelsea are still in the cup tie, but they have to play it at the Emirates. I think in next week or so, or a week after. So it's going to be tough. And then over the weekend, 2-0 win over Brentford at Stamford Bridge. They were bad. Chelsea were bad, but somehow they won this game.
You don't have to make it look pretty sometimes, right?
Yeah, it was not pretty at all. It was a messy game from both teams. Because Brentford, too, they were very wasteful in attack. Chelsea defending looked poor. It looked like an defensive error was bound to happen, but it never occurred. Which, thankfully, was the case. And Robert Sanchez kept Chelsea in the game again. With his great saves. Again, Robert Sanchez has kind of redeemed himself. Cucurella, poor. First poor game he had in a while. The Tosin Chalobah pairing can give Chelsea fans heart attacks, but thankfully the clean sheet was kept despite their errors. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, they kept losing the midfield battle, and Enzo Fernandez out of possession just looks so poor. Luckily, Liam Rosenior brought Andre Santos on to stabilize things, and the attack just didn't look as great. Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho, the wings of doom. Garnacho missed an open goal like for 5 yards. Forget what I said about him shooting. He can shoot from distance, but he can miss tap-ins. He can't take on the right back. Like if you're opposing right back, you're having a field day with Alejandro Garnacho. Neto takes too long on the ball and then makes the wrong decision. So those are the wingers after £1 billion spent. Luckily, Chelsea scored in the first half. Enzo Fernandez forced the turnover and found João Pedro for the goal. And then in the second half, Liam Delap, right off the bench, wins the penalty, and Cole Palmer scores, but he still didn't look 100%. Because that groin injury, I think it's really still nagging him. And his celebration looked very muted, too. But other than that, it wasn't the best game for Chelsea. It wasn't a good game at all, but a win's a win. And the protests happened before the game. It was okay, but it sounded like everyone was tired. Wasn't saying like, we don't care about Cleveland. They don't care about it. It sounds like everybody just woke up. I felt like I was expecting more, but I think if more protests will happen, but so the message was shown, but there needs to be more there. Transfer rumor season. So Chelsea are heavily linked. Apparently, they agreed personal terms with Jeremy Jokke, 20-year-old center back from Rennes. Hasn't played a full season yet, so of course this is the Chelsea way now. Fits the profile though. He's good in the air, he's smart defensively, and he's a good passer. Rennes wants £60 million for him, and because I think this guy has really high potential. Chelsea want to pay less than that. Which even paying 50 is a bit much for me for a guy who hasn't played a full season yet.
Yeah.
And is 20 years old. Apparently now the briefs are saying Chelsea want like 39 million with add-ons, taking it to 48.
And
okay, that's doable.
7-year contract.
Yeah, on a 7-year contract.
Yeah.
That's doable. But and then there's those rumors saying, oh, Chelsea can buy him, then loan him back to Rennes. But they need a center back now. It's just like one of those sagas that drags and drags. Either come to a deal or don't. So if they buy and loan back Jokke, they can recall Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg, who apparently is doing fine there. And since Axel Disasi's back in the fold, maybe send him to Strasbourg or something. I forgot about Sarr, but apparently he's doing well at Strasbourg. And Chelsea also want a new attacker, and they are heavily linked. Transfer markets are reported this even to Julian Alvarez, who apparently wants to leave Atletico Madrid. I don't know what happened there. He's doing well this year.
That would be a big loss for Madrid as well, especially with last week just losing Conor Gallagher as well.
No, I mean, they wanted Conor Gallagher gone.
They do, but still, they got to replace the hole, right?
Yeah, but apparently Alvarez wants out of there or something.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. PSG are linked to him. Barcelona, I think, are too. But Chelsea apparently are pushing for him, which is surprising because he's about to turn 26 this year. And knowing Bedat Iqbal and his cronies, they won't allow it.
Yeah.
I want to believe this is happening, but knowing Bedat Iqbal, no. Because this is a proven striker. He's played in the Premier League with Man City. He's fits what Chelsea need. He could take Chelsea to a different level. Like, he could drag them back to the top four and even make them go further in the UCL and win them a cup or two. 100 million euros is like the rumored fee, though it could be lower. But we'll see where this goes. I'm like, please, for the love of God, you have a striker there. That's proven. Sign him. I don't know if wages will be an issue, but sign him. And then they'll sign some 17-year-old from Uzbekistan. So,
hey, Uzbekistan is on the up, right?
Yeah. So today, Chelsea are playing Paphos in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge, and apparently that's where David Luiz is playing now, and he's going to face Chelsea.
Huh.
I didn't know he was still playing, but props to him.
Does he still?
And then on the weekend, it's Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, who lost Mark Gay to Man City, and they're about to lose Jean-Philippe Mateta because Mateta has asked out.
I saw
For
that.
Palace fans.
Yeah.
So Tottenham Hotspur continue to be the funniest club in the Premier League or funniest club in the world. In the Premier League, awful, but in the Champions League, they look like Man United of the past.
Yeah. They hurt me.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's these stoppage time losses. I believe it's been a number in a row so far. 2-1 loss against West Ham over the weekend. Again, another stoppage time loss. Callum Wilson in the 93rd minute finished it. It looked like Tottenham had kind of saved a point with Christian Romero getting up and getting a tying goal in the 64th minute, but it was not meant to be. Conor Gallagher's debut for Spurs, he actually started this match, and there was a bit of an...
It didn't look that good.
Yeah, they weren't really too sure. Somerville, Crescencio Somerville started with West Ham in the 15th minute to give them the go. And it's kind of funny because as soon as the game is done, there's all these rumors that Somerville is now wanted by Tottenham. So I guess that's just what their scouting department does. Whoever's against us, we now want you. Why not, right? Don't get me wrong. They're looking for a winger. They need a winger, especially with Kudus out and whatnot, but we'll have to wait and see. Just not a good match. Lackluster. This match actually led to emergency executive meetings that were held on Sunday within Tottenham over whether or not Thomas Frank was going to be able to keep his job. And it was basically, he was called into the meetings to defend himself, to make his case. And it was basically decided amongst everyone that he had the Champions League match yesterday against Borussia Dortmund to save his job. It was up to that. And the only reason he had that is because they had done reasonably well in the Champions League. Before the match, they were sitting in one of the playoff spots, but they knew that if they won, they could move up and pretty much secure, very, very close to secure one of the automatic spots, the top 8 spots to move on beyond the playoffs. Lead up to that game, they got the job done. First half, this looked like a team on fire. It was a completely different team, a much better game. Back-to-back goals for Cristiano Romero. Got the first goal. Second one, Dominic Solanke. Forgot that name even existed.
Yeah, first goal.
Both goals assisted by Odegaard, which was really nice to see. So, it shows them on 4th there. I believe with matches starting right now, they're in 5th.
Yeah.
But 7 games played already. There's only 8 games in the Champions playoff kind of rounds. So, he has life for another day and gets to keep going. One of the reasons why Tottenham is struggling so much this season, and again, this was the story against Ange Postecoglou as well, is injuries.
Yep.
So the injury list has come out as well. Tottenham, Arsenal, and Chelsea have had the most, the highest number of individual injuries at 19 already this season. But when you look at actual days lost, when you look at the length of injuries, it's actually Newcastle United who's on top with
that's a big reason why they're struggling.
640 days lost due to injuries. Tottenham is second at 625. So that tells you right now exactly why Tottenham has struggled a lot with the season. I mean, they have had 2 of their main players not touch a ball, pretty much, in James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski. Big names. You've got a few guys that are coming back, but it's a lot of this stagnation of Tottenham's attack has begun because you don't have your 2 main creative guys. On top of that, you can add Kudus to that list now as well because he's injured. So and Ben Davies, I believe, now it's going to surgery because he broke his ankle. So yeah, it's been an absolute. I don't know. They're just setting up a MASH or a triage unit in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and going from there. Been a very, very big problem. Chelsea with their 19 injuries, again, they're up there at 580 days lost, but
Yeah, something like that.
because they like to stockpile players like other teams. I don't know, but yeah, there has other than Somerville that Tottenham has apparently shown interest in. This just in, which is a very, very weird one. Apparently, they're in talks with West Ham to do a loan swap of backup goalkeepers. It would send Kinski to West Ham, move Mads Hermansen over to Spurs. I don't know why. I don't know what the point of this is. Spurs fans apparently, obviously for obvious reasons, it's West Ham. They're hating this. I've talked in previous episodes that we've talked about that I want to actually see Kinski start getting matches. I want him to start playing for Spurs and see if he's able to hold that spot against Vicario. But I just, this makes no sense at all for me. So again, just another piece to add to the puzzle of what's going to be going on. With those emergency meetings that were happening with Tottenham, there have been a couple of names that have started being thrown about of potential replacements for Thomas Frank. Two names in particular. One is going to be a name that's going to be thrown out for every club that's looking for someone, and that's Xabi Alonso.
Yep.
Obviously, most recently at Real Madrid. Didn't get the backing from the club, didn't get the backing from the players. I would be interested to see what he could do with someone like Spurs. I just don't know if I see it happening. The other name is Xavi Hernandez.
Yeah.
Most recently of Barcelona. He's been out of a job for a little while now. So definitely a guy that probably is looking to get back into management. Again, another guy that I would be interested in seeing, but we'll have to.
But would they go to Spurs? That's the thing.
They go to Spurs, yeah. Spurs right now, they're still in that transitional period of getting Daniel Levy out, bringing in the new executive. Paratici, that dual sporting directorship, he's gone. He's now the official president and sporting director, I believe, of Fiorentina. So it's now just Johan Lang by himself. I'll have to wait and see how that goes. But they need to solve the problems at the top before we start seeing it filter down to the team. There's that stability within the executive doesn't exist. And they also lost another one of their executives. I can't remember. It was this one woman who had been around for a long. She's actually gone on now to work for the overall Premier League. That's another person that's left as well. I think she had been with Spurs for about 12 years. So, but the name escapes me. Yeah. Good in cup runs, not so good in the league. Sitting in 14th. Next game Tottenham has coming up. Let me just take a look here. They will be facing Burnley in the Premier League, and then they'll wrap up the Champions League on January 28th against Eintracht Frankfurt.
All right. Yeah. Moving on here. Former Whitecap, current Canadian international, Ali Ahmed is enjoying life in Norwich. On his debut, got an assist, and yesterday, for his first goal, 2 goal contributions in his first 90 minutes.
Could have had another one in his very first game in the 12th minute, ring a ball off the crossbar as well. But from Norwich City fans who had been screaming out for an actual natural out and out winger, seems like they found their man.
Yeah, only 2 games in, but seems like he's their guy, and he's already been a fan favorite. Early days, but still in Norwich. Pretty tidy finish here from Ali Ahmed.
Good for Norwich as well, who's now started to move out of that kind of relegation conversation. They've jumped a couple of spots in recent weeks to kind of save their skin a little bit. Let me just see if I can see where they're sitting right now. They've now moved up into 20th. They're still very, very close, but there's a lot of teams above them that are very, very close in points. You think Southampton in 16th is only 3 points ahead of them. So there is a lot of quick movement that could be happening. 2 wins on the bounce is a good way to start. And so far, that's what his career with Norwich City has been. 2 wins.
2 wins, a goal and an assist. Pretty good start to life for Ali Ahmed in Norwich City. So the AFCON final happened over the weekend, and this might be, it was only a 1-0 game, but has to be one of the craziest games, not just in AFCON history, but in football history.
It's always stories from AFCON.
Yeah, like AFCON continues to be the tournament that keeps on giving. Not even just in the final. There's been some crazy goals, crazy moments all throughout the tournament.
So with this one, I believe it was 0-0 until almost stoppage time or into stoppage time, where a penalty was awarded. Senegalese players essentially boycotted.
Yeah, the coach pretty much told them to get off the pitch, but Sadio Mane said, "Oh no, we need to stay on."
It took him 14 minutes to get them to come back.
Yeah, and that was because a few minutes earlier, Senegal had a goal ruled out due to an early whistle.
Yeah. So they finally get to take the penalty, and what does the guy do?
Brahim Diaz tries a Panenka on Edward Mendy, and it's like literally one of the worst penalties you'll ever see.
Senegal, extra time, goes on to win it 1-0.
Gay with the winner.
What
a screamer!
And it's brought up the conversation: is a Panenka ever good to do? Yes, sometimes you go in, but if you missed, other ones
like
you
an idiot.
Sometimes forgive. Like if you try to blast it and it goes off a post, or a goalkeeper saves it, a Panenka just looks stupid.
Yeah, and Brahim Diaz
without being necessary.
He tried to aura farm the final, but he failed miserably. It's congrats to Senegal also for winning AFCON. Congrats to players like Nicholas Jackson, Sadio Mane, and of course Gay.
Papa Matasar.
Yep, Matasar as well. AFCON is just a hell of a tournament.
Yeah.
And this final is one of the best finals of football you'll ever see. Sure, it was only 1-0, but it was absolutely crazy.
Lots of stories as well, just from other parts of the tournament, even with the fans. Did you see that one fan? I can't remember what country he's from, but he was dressing up as one of the kind of heroes of his country, and he would stand
like Congo
at every game. Became an icon of the entire tournament as well. So
yeah, fans were fighting in the stands in the final too.
That too. Yep.
The
trainers were fighting in the final.
Yeah. AFCON.
You're supposed to patch people up.
Yeah, gotta love AFCON. One last thing here. So it looks like Man City are free falling. They lost the Manchester Derby 2-0, where they look really poor despite all that possession. And then yesterday, 3-1 loss to Bodo Glimt of Norway, who have never won a Champions League game in their history until yesterday.
Tottenham actually faced Bodo Glimt twice, I think, in past Europa Leagues. They have because I believe their stadium, they're north of the Arctic Circle, I believe.
Yeah, they are.
They are. So, absolutely crazy that they weren't going. And it's actually now been announced the Manchester City squad is going to refund the cost of the tickets for the 374 supporters who traveled to Norway to witness the loss.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gonna be now it's the price of the away ticket, which was only about £25, but they said the players are putting together just shy of about £10,000 to pay. Probably airfare as part of that as well. Which, I mean, £10,000, players make this. Yeah, their least paid player would make this in a week.
Yeah, but just overall, City looks so terrible.
I know.
Rodri got sent off. That made things worse. Holland, where was he? Foden too. Sure, Cherky got the goal, but
I don't know what to think of this. When you take a look at the league, Arsenal is actually kind of running away with this now. They are 7 points ahead of City and Villa, who sit in second and third respectively. Now we
I think
know
City have
Arsenal,
not won a game this calendar year so far in the league.
they've drawn
Or they did just win one.
3 and lost their last one in the Premier League. They haven't won in the last 4 matches.
Yeah, they haven't won since December.
Now Arsenal haven't won in the last 2 either. So I mean, it almost seems like we're going to have whoever wins this league stumble over the finish line. Villa as well. They've drawn and lost their last 2 matches. We know Arsenal, you know, they hit first, they fumble the ball somewhere, but if everyone else is fumbling behind you, you might actually make it.
Yeah, I still believe it's Arsenal's year, and if they don't win it this year, they'll never win it.
Yeah.
But still a lot of time to go. But I feel like, yeah, this is like the end, or the beginning of the end of Pep at Man City.
There had even been rumors that he could be leaving as soon as this week with everything going. I don't see that happening.
I think he stays till the end of the
season.
season.
He will leave at the end of the season.
Yep.
But it's not looking good for him. I just don't feel like his heart. Not that his heart isn't in football, but his heart isn't in Man City.
It feels like he's looking to greener pastures.
I wonder if he is looking to take over Spain after the World Cup.
Yeah, he did say that City will be his last club.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if he's going to do Spain. I know he is a Catalan through and through, but we'll have to wait and see.
He'll probably take some time off.
Yeah.
But yeah, City just looked poor for the past few weeks and yesterday too. And yeah, like Arsenal, they have a golden opportunity to win it this year.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. Well, it'll be funny for us, but still.
It would be, yeah. You and I would be happy with it.
Yeah. So that'll conclude this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Follow me on Twitter, Joshua00, Nathan and Derek, podcast at Terminal City FC. Check us on Blue Sky, Instagram as well, and all our writing for Area 51 Sports Network. I'll be looking to get back into it, hopefully with some stuff. I've been busy over the past week for both of us. Check out our WHL and NFL coverage. Go Hawks this weekend. 1 win away from the Super Bowl. So I'll be watching that. And yeah, we'll be back next week talking all things footy and hopefully more Whitecaps news.
Absolutely.
So that concludes this week's episode. Peace out.
Take care.